So I want to show you guys something that I made. I made a running vest. Um, I want to show you what some of the design choices I made were and why I made them, and show you some other features. So yeah, check it out. Water, goo. Good morning. So just ran up Dimple Dell. Now I'm going up Bell's Canyon right here. 12 miles this morning. Going kind of slow because just trotting along and filming with you guys. And look at this. This is a new running vest that I've been making. And not perfect yet. There's a few things that I need to adjust. And I need to add a clip right here, some Velcro, so I can stick my camera in this pocket. But this is my new running vest that I've made. It's got all the bells and whistles and features and things like that. Oh, it looks like this is all messed up. Yeah, there's a few things that I need to adjust and fix and do differently, but there we go. That's a little better. Yeah, so it's able to hold a bunch of things. I can put a 2-liter bladder in there, and then I've got my 2 bladders there, and then a pocket here, pocket here. I'm going to eventually come in and sew some individual pockets, because right now my goos will fall out pretty easily, but this spot here is where I can stick my camera. That's why I need the Velcro loop right here so that I can stick the tripod and stuff like that. I'll probably eventually stick something here, pockets or whatever, but yeah. So here's my running vest as it was at the end of my run yesterday. So I've got it all packed up. I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I've got packed in there as I pull it out. And I'll show you what it looks like with it on. But for starters, I want to show you some of my design choices. So I did extensively sketch out some ideas and write down notes and figure out a bunch of things, like what I would carry and the amount of stuff that I would need. And so I had made this original prototype, and this was made just from a t-shirt. Fix it here for you guys. This was made from a t-shirt, and I took the bottom and just folded it up and sewed my my things there, and then I sewed pockets here, and then I had cut the sleeves off, and one of the sleeves became, the sleeves became the pockets where the bladders could go, and then the front of the shirt became the front of the shirt, like down right here, became the back section here where I could fit 2 liters worth of stuff basically. I had a bad button design for the front. I should have done some kind of zipper. Basically, I knew that this cotton material wasn't going to be strong enough, so I didn't want to just cut holes, and you can see how it's ripped and stuff. These were basically meant to have like an elastic going back and forth between both sides. And those worked, but they didn't work very well, because the problem is you put this on, you tighten it up, and you can't take it off very easily, which means I can't get to the stuff on the back. But I really liked having the 2 bladders on the chest. I liked having all the storage along the base for all of my goos and things like that. I left one of these pockets, this one here, larger, and so it actually goes in and back, and so I'm able to stick like my water filter or even like my battery, which you'll see that here in a minute. But what I found was it was easier to have my water filter here, and then these outer pockets were used always as trash bins for trash things. And I've included a trash bin on mine as well, on the new one. But the problem is because I couldn't take it off, I could never really get to the stuff in this pocket without help. And so, but I think I might take something like this and do another concept. This one's really dirty, I need to wash it. But I might actually just throw this one away as my first concept, because this material absorbs moisture and holds it. And so I want something that will wick moisture a little bit better. But I have an idea for a super lightweight vest that I can just use to carry water and some goos, but nothing else. Whereas this one here will be my more hefty pack where I can put my poles and more water and storage and stuff like that. So let me show you what this looks like on me. Okay, so there it is. Most of the adjustment on this comes from the straps back here. So it basically tightens here, and then everything else kind of rests on your shoulders fairly well. So here in the front, there's a few things. So I'm not quite done with it. There's a few things that I'm going to adjust and a few things that I'm going to alter to just make it a little bit better, more customizable. So here in the front, we'll talk about the back when it's off. So here in the front, I wanted 2 bladders for my bottles here. The one of the design choices I had on the other one that I was just showing you was those were diagonal, and I felt like that really wasn't necessary. So I went vertical here, just straight up and down, and that helps with the way the zipper works, and then it just allows for a different pocket space. And then with these, I also added these pockets when I sewed this together, and I'll show you how most of this was put together as I break it down a little more. So these are really nice pockets to be able to fit like a phone, or right now I've got my knife, and there's also a little clip in here. But these pockets aren't really meant for holding a lot of stuff because your water here will take up most of that space. But these are also stretchy, so those are nice when you just like need a really quick pocket to throw something in. For different things, like whenever I'm using my hydration thing, I always have the caps, so that's always nice to be able to stick those in there and then put them back on later. I've got a little clip here for a bladder straw, which in the back I need to add a spot where the bladder hose can come out and then hook onto here. That way for long trips when I know I'm not going to be able to get water and I can pack water here, I can pack more water on my back. So there's those 2 pockets. Then down here at the bottom where I've got these pockets, so right now they're just full pockets. I'm going to eventually come in and add seams here so that I can fit different things. It looks like I don't have any goos with me right now, but I find that these, I wish I kind of made these a little bit taller, because this section here isn't quite tall enough for a goo, but I might have them going sideways, but I'll have to show you pictures. It's hard when... So the camera tripod and my phone, it can fit nicely into this pocket. So if my phone can fit here, and then the tripod, which is connected, the straps, the tripod arms can come up. So I'm going to add a clip here, a Velcro strap that I can strap those onto. On Tuesday, or what day was it? 2 days ago, whatever day it was. Today's Friday. I had one of the arms going up underneath here, and then the other arms were just sticking out. And that worked fine, but having the Velcro will be a little bit nicer. So that's the front of the pack. What else? So I bought the zipper online. This was from a bag. This bag actually right here, which I've torn apart. And I'll show you guys what this stuff is here in a minute, what that's all from. And then I had bought a cheap shirt from my work, and that's what most of the shirt is, most of the material is from. So this hem right here that goes around, that is actually from the original shirt. Same with the stitch here with these 2 materials. That's from the original shirt. So I basically converted a shirt into a running vest. But then there's the material underneath. This is some old tent material, and see there's still like some loose ends that I need to sew up. But this is from a tent material, so this is going to be somewhat more waterproof. And yeah, so then I layered it all up, so there's multiple layers, and got some good stiffness. So let me show you what the back looks like. So some of the features in the back that I wanted to include, I wanted a spot for my trekking poles to be able to attach, where I could easily attach them from the front. I wanted a trash pocket, because that's something I have a backpack that I would use for running and stuff, and I wanted a pocket to be able to stick stuff into. And then I wanted to be able to have a zipper, and this was kind of a thing as I found out that I wanted. The zipper comes all the way down to here, whereas on this other side it only comes to here. That way I can open the top, but then if I wanted to, when I've got stuff in here, I can just bring the zippers to this point, and I can access the bag while it's still on my back. So let me show you some of the stuff that I wanted to be able to carry around besides just the like trekking poles and water and stuff like that. So normally I would have like my food. So then I've also got my water, which would go in here. A few other things. I've got a knife. When I went running the other day, I had my clamp. This is for my camera gear. That's another thing that I would have is my camera stuff. This thing can hook onto my trekking poles, and then I can mount the mechanism that I've got there onto here, and use the trekking poles as a camera stabilizing thing as well. So the trekking poles have 2 Velcro straps up here, and then they also clip using a clip here to the straps. And when I had this on there the other day, they were bouncing around a little bit, but I think it was because I need to connect this to the shirt here a little better. So there's those. And then inside of here, of course, there's all my trash. I might do this the other day. Trash. So, been getting colder. I have my running gloves. That's what this here is for as well, is for like a jacket. I can stick those in there, and then I can pull it tight. So there's a Velcro strap right here, and that can hold the excess stretchiness here. That way it's not bouncing around, and I could use that Velcro strap for other stuff as well. I also sewed in a Velcro strap right there, just as an extra thing. Originally that was supposed to be for the trekking poles, but then I realized I don't want the trekking poles on this side of the pack, because if they're on that side, I can't, like I said, I can't easily get to the zipper because then my poles are in the way. So I moved them to the other side. So now I can just reach back and pull the zipper open to grab something out of the pack if I need to, such as my battery bank. This one is big, but it also doubles as my big flashlight right now. Leggings from the other day, so I just stuffed those in there. Hydration pack, and then I actually didn't grab the other day, which is still in here. Normally I would carry with me first aid kit and lighter, just in case. So that's all the stuff that I would normally carry with me. And those are the things that I like considered how much space I would need. Now, when I have a 2-liter bladder in here, I'm pretty sure that most all this stuff would fit in here. The battery bank might also be able to fit in these side pockets. I just don't know how well it will fit in there right now, if I need to like add a Velcro strap or something. But the nice thing about this, because I made this, I can customize and adjust it how I need it to be. So let me show you how some of these features work. So the only way you can adjust the pack is using the strings that I've tied in under here, and those go across. This side's kind of a mess because I've got extra string. I might alter this because what I want it to be able to do is I want to be able to adjust it on the fly, because I found that if you have stuff in these pockets, you kind of have to adjust how tight it is. So I might adjust this string. This is just kind of like a shoelace type of material. I might adjust it to be a springy material, like this stuff here. But I don't know if I have enough of this stuff right now. So one of the other features that I wanted to include, and I need to sew these on a little bit better because right now they're a little bit flimsy. They fold out sometimes. I wanted to add some more padding, and the padding would also act as an area for some airflow. This one down here is not working as intended. When I was running with it the other day, it was basically folded down most of the time, and I think it's because of the way that I sewed it together here. And if you notice right here as well, that was where the corner of the battery bank was inside. And because of the way that these are sewed, and the way that the tension pulls tight using the outsides, using the strings, it was pulling the outside of the bag tight. So I think I'm going to pull this apart and have the bottom of the back part float on the back strap. Because the back strap is connected. Let me get to where I can show you a little better. So all of this part right here is connected together, and that's where you can tighten it. But like the pad here and this are not, they're only connected with these points here. So what I think I might do is actually disconnect that and connect this pad to the strap, and then have this kind of float there, but still be connected. I think that'll be a better design, and then this will kind of stay there. And then that way I'll have this channel where air can get in and out. And of course, all of this is made with this Tech One t-shirt, which is moisture wicking material, so it should dry out pretty quick when I'm using it. So if you notice right here on this side, these are stitching together. So this is holding this part here is part of the pack, and then there's the pad, and then in between, sandwiched in between, is the actual strap, the shoulder strap that goes around to the front, and the shoulder strap is what's connected to the front. So I've got 3 layers there, and so I had to use some thick stitching, cross-stitching material to basically put it together. And on this side, this isn't done yet, but I'm going to be doing a nice embroidery of this 11:11. The 11:11 is my favorite time. My brother asked me the other day what it means. It's the only time when all the digits are the same number on a digital clock. And then usually when I would see this time, it was usually really late at night, which meant I was either staying up late or staying up all night. You almost never see this time in the afternoon because usually you're doing stuff and you're like active and moving around. And yeah, so it's just my favorite time, and it's kind of working out as a cool little logo. I thought it was kind of cool. At work, we were just talking about logos and things like that, because I was talking about making a running vest, and they were like, well, what's your logo? What would it be? And I was like, oh, maybe this or that. And this just kind of came to mind, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll put that on the pack somewhere. So that's that. I might have to do this for other designs that I make, other things that I'll make, is just always put the 11:11 on it, just as a little goofy thing. But yeah, what else to show you? So let's get into some of the construction of this. So if you don't know how sewing works, there's a couple different ways you can sew things. So, and I think I've used all 3 examples of types of sewing on this. So the first example is what I call additive, which is basically where I've got this material actually comes down and folds on itself, and then I've sewed it down directly to the other material. So you can see the other stitch on there. The other style is to actually hide your stitch. So there's not a stitch here, but it's still connected there on the inside. So so what I've done is actually sewed from the inside and then folded the item over, and then on this side I stitched it this way. So that's the other way. And then the third way is to actually sew it and then turn it inside out. So here on the inside, you'll see, let me get to it, you'll see the 4 different layers right there. So I've sewed it on this side with the sewing machine here like this, and then I've actually turned it inside out, and that's when you get this sort of a... So those are the different types of seams that you can do, and then it's just a matter of like figuring out how to layer everything up and put it all together, and making sure you're taking in account like when you want to add different features and stuff like that. So let me show you some of the features that I've added. So this one, for starters, for the water hose, I just added this sewing it here and here before I attached this to the whole panel. One of the other features, for example, so these straps here that allow you for the strings to go across to the other side, when I attached this pocket to this whole panel, I just made sure to add these in, and then I doubled up on the sewing so that it had more strength there. So these go all the way through to the other side, and so that's how this pocket is added, was through an additive process. And so what I did is I sewed the sides as an additive process, but then the bottom I threw everything inside out and sewed across the bottom, and then when you turn it inside out, it'll have a pocket like that. The zipper is an additive process. I wanted to make sure that I had the black that was left over from this bag. So this seam right here was, I didn't sew that. That was from the bag that I ended up taking apart, that I bought specifically for this project and some other projects. So then I wanted to make sure I had all black right here, so that way it looked nice with like aesthetic designs and stuff like that. I went with this zigzag stitch in a lot of places, because that's kind of like one of the design things that I wanted, was just kind of a funky thing like that. In some places I just went with a straight thing. One thing I also added was here on the inside, I sewed in this extra material, so that way I can throw in like a phone or whatever. There's a couple different little things. I also added a little clip so that I can put my keys in here. There's 2 pockets. I don't know if this one over here is big enough for a phone, but this one would be, but it's also big enough for like my water filter. These are just for like small little things if you needed to put your phone or something extra little in here. And then the pads here, so I sewed those. Those are actually the very first things that I sewed. So what I did is I sewed the whole thing inside out and then flipped it back inside out, and then I had to sew along the edge here, so that's kind of just a rough edge. And then so I sewed those together, had those how I wanted them. I had cut up the shirt, cut the pockets out, the actual, or not pockets, the sleeves. The sleeves actually, this is the hem of the sleeve, and so that's actually part of the sleeve right there. So that's why on this side you get the logo, which is actually upside down. This is the logo that was on the sleeve of the shirt originally. So then I just layered it all together and kind of worked at it. So if you can kind of see the main base where the shirt was, so there's like where the holes are is where the sleeves were originally, and then I opened them up bigger, which, by the way, when I was wearing this the other day, it was very comfortable. Nothing was rubbing on my arms, so I've got all the sizing quite good. And I used so I made a template. So this represents the zipper and then the sleeve spot. So basically I made this and then kind of put it on myself so that I could check for sizes and stuff like that. And then I wanted to make sure like dimensions in different ways and whatnot. So that was really helpful. And so then I used that to then cut out the pieces here. Let's see. So let's stick this template on there. So if you can kind of see it, the template goes on there like that. And that's how I figured out like the sizing that I needed it to be, and then I knew that I had a little bit of adjustability with a few things. Yeah, so overall I'm pretty pleased with how this has turned out. I really like the colors of it. Some of the design features. Of course, right now I'm not done, but with something like this, there's a lot of like development that needs to happen, and that's what this original vest was for, was to see what would work. And see what I liked and what I needed as far as like accessibility and stuff like that. So let me show you this a little better, because I want to show you my other drawing. So originally I had wanted to do a running vest. Let's see if I can find where I put that. So right here. Or a running belt. So I had an old pack that I had taken apart that I was going to use, and I was actually going to run my bladder sideways. And this is where I originally like wrote out all the things that I would need to carry with me, and I started designing like a few ideas and figure out how I'd want to stitch things and how I'd want my like camera mount and where I'd want to put that in the pack, and like I wanted to be able to have other like pouches that were removable. I was looking at like a MOLLE strap system for the pack, and I actually went out and bought an old like fanny pack for the clip, and that's when we ended up buying this bag, because I really liked the material and the color, and it just happens to be that the shirt that I used was the same color as the material, and so We went and bought them secondhand from the DI, which is kind of like a Savers. People donate stuff. But then I built my first prototype of my belt, and I realized that this would not work. When you're running with a belt, it bounces around too much, which means that it sags or goes to the lowest, the tightest, the narrowest part of your body, which for me is like right below my rib cage, which is not comfortable. I wanted something that would ride on my hips, but like a backpacking backpack where you can have the hip strap go around your hips, but there's all that extra weight from the pack. So figured out that wouldn't work. So then I decided to do the running vest idea, which I wanted to steer away from because I wanted less weight on my chest area and more on my hips. But the advantage of a running vest is everything is really snug onto your body, unlike a backpack, which I'm finding that I'm really liking. I really liked this one, at least the idea of it, where hopefully this will become more of what I was wanting. So I was experimenting with different ways to attach the camera, like over the shoulder, different things like that. Instead, I decided to do more of this type of a pocket. So this kind of pocket would be what you see right here, except instead of sideways, it's vertical. But yeah, and then I was experimenting with different things, how I wanted the adjustment in the front, or if I wanted a zipper. I'm glad I went with the zipper idea. This is kind of more of what I ended up going for. There's the 1111. So let me tell you about the mess that's here around me. So all of this stuff is just like scrap material and whatnot. I keep a bucket of random junk. Random junk like bags that are left over. Whenever I have an old backpack, I will take apart the backpack and I'll like take clips and different things and save them. Save them for other things, because I am always designing and building things and doing stuff like this, which is nice. So like, I mean, not all the time, but a lot of times I'll so it's nice just to have like the opportunity to be able to be like, oh, I need a clip, and then go and find it. So like, for example, the other day, my niece, she has some binoculars, and she didn't have like a strap. So then I came down here to my bucket, and I was like, okay, well, and I found like a clip for her that she could use. And then I went to one of my other bags. I don't know if it's this one. This one has like zippers and stuff in it. But I found just a lanyard strap, and put that on it, and she was like, yay, thank you. And it was just like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I have all this stuff for, is for projects like that. Just little things if I need to improve something or fix something. So then on occasion I'll do something more intensive, like sewing this together. I'm trying to think of what else I've done in the past. I know that when I was younger, the first thing I made was a face mask for paintballing, gum dropping, airsoft type of stuff. But I've made other projects like this before. I don't know. And then just like having a design like brain to be able to work through and draw out your plans and design things, and then be able to build your templates and get to the final product, to be able to have an understanding of how to layer materials, because it's material design like this is much different than like graphic design and drawing, because you're working in 3D. But yeah, so that's my running vest. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video of me showing you all the little details on it. Hopefully that was enough. My brother was saying that I don't feel like this is really that much different than what you could buy, except that I was able to do it for about, well, the shirt was like $5. Other materials was probably around $5 or $10. So I feel like a couple days worth of work, my own time, that was probably worth not spending like $200 or $300 for a running vest. Plus, in this case, I can customize it the way I want. So, all right, as I say on my running channel, go out and have a good run adventure. Have a good run. But this is a different channel. So let's say go out and design, go out and build something. See you guys. Also, if you want to see my first run with this on, go check it out in the video description below. It was took a second to get used to it, but it was a first work through figuring out what I need to do to improve with this. So go check that out. Video description. Yeah, go check it out. Where I go run. Yeah. Bye guys.